so late? It's almost dark.
We're planting. I'll need the forest edge.
Oh, you're done then.
Aye, the farm is seated. The boys asleep?
They will be soon.
Pray now for a fair summer.
Aye,
Are you well today?
I am. It is a rabbit.
Oh, is it? In Jonathan's trap?
No. She came into the house this afternoon. I found her sitting in the corner like she'd come to visit.
That's a good sign walking in.
Pray God. It hurt my heart to strip her, poor rabbit.
It's well seasoned.
Is it? I took great care.
I think we'll see green fields soon again. It's warm as blood beneath the clouds.
That's well.
If the crop is good, I'll buy you George Jacob's heifer. How would that please you?
Aye, it would.
I mean to please you, Elizabeth.
I know it, John.
Cider?
Aye.
You know, this farm's a continent when you go foot by foot dropping seeds in it.
Must be.
You ought to bring some flowers in the house.
Oh, I forgot. I will tomorrow.
It's winter in here yet. Let you come with me and we'll walk the fields together. I've never seen such a load of flowers on the earth. And lilac have a purple smell. Lilac is the smell of nightfall, I think. And Massachusetts is a beauty in the spring.
It is.
I think you're sad again, are you?
You come so late. I thought you'd go to Salem this afternoon.
Why, I had no business in Salem.
You did speak of going earlier this week.
I've thought better of it since.
Mary Warren's there today.
Mary Warren, you heard me forbid her to go to Salem anymore.
I could not stop her.
It is a fault. It is a fault, Elizabeth. You're the mistress here, not Mary Warren.
She frightened all my
How may
children
that
away.
mouse frighten
It is
you?
a mouse no more. I forbid her to go. And she raises her chin like the daughter of a prince and says to me, I must go to Salem, Goody Proctor. I am an official of the court.
Court? What court?
Aye, it is a proper court they have now. They've sent 4 judges out of Boston, weighty magistrates of the general court. And at the head sits the deputy governor of the province.
Why, she's mad.
And would to God she were. There'll be 14 people in jail now, she says. And they'll be tried. And the court will have power to hang them too,
They'd
she
never
says.
hang.
The deputy governor promised hanging if they'll not confess, John. The town's gone wild, I think. She speaks of Abigail, and I thought she were a saint to hear her. Abigail brings the other girls into court, and where she walks, the crowd will part like the sea for Israel. And folks are brought before them, and if they howl and scream and fall to the floor, the person's clapped in jail for bewitching them.
It is a black mischief.
I think you must go to Salem, John. I think so. You must tell them it is a fraud.
Aye, it is. It is surely.
Let you go to Ezekiel Shearer. He knows you well. Tell him what she said to you last week in her uncle's house. She said it not with witchcraft, did she not?
She did. She did.
God forbid this you hear this from the court, John. I think they must be told.
Aye, they must. They must. It is a wonder they do believe her.
I will go to Salem now, John. Let you go tonight.
I'll think on it.
You cannot keep it.
I know I cannot keep it. I said I will think on it.
Good then. Let you think on it.
Woman, I am only wondering how I may prove what she's told me. If the girls just say now, I think it's not easy to prove that she's fraud. And the town's gone so silly, I told her to her in a room alone. I have no proof for it.
You were alone with her?
For a moment, aye.
Then it is not as you told
For
me.
a moment, I say. These others come in soon after.
Do as you wish then.
Woman, I'll not have your suspicion anymore.
I have
No, I'll not have it.
Then let you not earn it.
You doubt me yet.
John, if it were not Abigail that you must go hurt, will you falter now? I think not.
Now look you.
I see what I see.
Do
John.
not judge me more, Elizabeth. I have good reason to think before I go charge fraud against Abigail. And I will think on it. And you look to your improvements before you go to judge your husband anymore. I have forgotten everything.
And
spare me, you forget nothing. and you forgive nothing. Learn charity, woman. I have gone tiptoe around this house since the 7th month since she's been gone. I have not gone from there to there without thinking to please you. And still an everlasting funeral marches round your heart. I cannot speak, but I am doubted with every moment judged for lies, as though I come into a court when I come into this house.
John, you were not open with me. You saw her with the crowd you said, and now you...
say no more, Elizabeth.
John, I am
no
only...
More. I should have roared you down when you first told me of your suspicion, but I wilted. And like a Christian, I confessed. Confessed some dream I must have mistaken you for God that day, but you're not. You're not. Like you look to the goodness in me sometimes and judge me not.
John, I do not judge you. It is the magistrate that sits on your heart that judges you. I never thought you but a good man, John. Only somewhat bewildered.
Oh, Elizabeth, your justice would freeze beer. Well, how do you go to Salem when I forbid it? Do you mock me? How have you dare lift if you ever dare leave this house again?
I'm sick. Pray hurt me not. My insides are all shutting in proceedings all day.
From one of these proceedings here, when will you keep this house clean as you have paid now and found a year to do so, and my wife not wholly well?
I made a gift for you, Goody Proctor. I sit long hours in a chair and pass my time with sewing.
Why, thank you. It is a fair puppet.
We must all love each other now.
Aye, indeed we must.
I'll wake up early in the morning and clean the house. I must sleep now.
Mary, is it true? There be 14 women arrested?
You'll be 39 now.
Why, she's weeping. What ails you, child?
Goody Osborne will hang.
Hang? Hang, you say?
Aye.
The deputy governor will permit it.
He must. He sentenced her, but not for Sarah Good. Sarah Good confessed, you see.
Confess? Confess to what?
That she sometimes made a compact with Lucifer and bound herself to the black book to torment Christians till God's thrown down, and that we must worship hell forevermore.
Well, surely you told her what a jabber she is. Did you tell them that?
Mr. Proctor, in open court, she nearly choked us all to death.
Why, I never heard you mention that before.
I never knew it before. I never knew anything before. I told myself not to accuse this woman, for she sleeps in ditches and is very old and poor. But then she sits there denying, and I feel a misty coldness climbing up my back, and the skin on my skull begins to creep, and I cannot breathe air. And then I hear a voice, a screaming voice, and it were my voice, and all at once I remember everything she had done to me.
Why, what'd she do to you?
So many times, Mr. Proctor, she come to this very door begging for bread and a cup of cider. And mark this, whenever I turned her away empty, she mumbled.
Mumbled? She may mumble if she's hungry.
But what does she mumble? You must remember, Goody Proctor, last month, on Monday, I think, I thought my guts would burst for 2 days. Do you remember it?
Why, I do, I think.
But then I told that to Judge Hawthorne, and Judge Hawthorne says, Goody Osborne, what curse do you mumble that this girl must fall sick? And she replies, why, no curse at all. I only say my commandments. I only hope to say my commandments, she says.
And that's an upright answer.
Aye, but then Judge Hawthorne says, recite for us your commandments. And for all 10 of them, she could not say a single one. She never knew no commandments, and they had her in a flat lie.
And so condemned her.
Why, when she condemned herself.
The proof.
This is the proof, hard as a rock.
You will not go to court anymore, Mary London.
I must say, sir, I'll be gone every day. I'm amazed you don't see the weighty work we do.
What work you do? It's strange work for a Christian girl to hang old women.
Mr. Proctor, they'll not hang if they confess. Sarah Good will only sit in jail for some time. And here's a wonder for you. Think on this. Goody Good is pregnant.
Pregnant? Are they mad? The woman's near 60.
They had Dr. Griggs examine her, and she's full to the brim, smoking a pipe for all these years and no husband either. But she's safe, thank God. They'll not hurt the innocent child. But be that not a marvel. So I'll be gone every day for some time, because I'm an official of the court.
Oh, I'll official you.
I'll not be stand whipping anymore.
Mary, promise that you'll stay at home.
The devil's losing Salem.
Oh, I'll be the devil that
I saved her life today.
I am accused.
Somewhat mentioned, but I told them I never see no sign of you hurting anyone. And since I live so closely with you, they dismissed it.
Who accused me, Mary?
I'm bound by law, I cannot tell. I'll have you not be so sarcastical no more. 4 judges and the king's deputy sat with us to dinner but an hour ago. I'll have you speak civilly to me this on out.
Go to bed.
I'll not be ordered dead, Miss Proctor. I'm 18 and a woman, however
Do
single.
you wish to sit up? Then sit up.
I wish to go to bed.
Well, good night then.
Good night.
Oh, the noose is up.
There'll be no noose.
She wants me dead, John. I knew it. Oh, wait, can we come
She
to this?
dismissed it. You heard her say.
And what if tomorrow? She will cry me out until they take me, John.
Sit you down.
John, she wants me
I
dead.
said sit you
know it.
down. Now, we must be wise, Elizabeth.
Oh, indeed.
Fear nothing. I'll find Ezekiel Cheever and I'll tell him she said it was all sport.
John, with so many in jail now, I think more than Cheever's help is needed now, I think. Would you favor me with this? Go to Abigail.
What have I to say to Abigail?
John, grant me this. You have a faulty understanding of young girls. There be a promise made in any
What promise?
Spoke or silent, a promise is surely made. And she may dote on it now, I am sure she does. And thinks to kill me than to take my place. It is her dearest hope, John, I know it. There be 1,000 names, why did she call mine? There be a certain danger in calling such a name. She did not call such a farmer's wife, but there be a monstrous profit in it. I am no goody good that sleeps in ditches, nor Osborne drunk and half-witted. She wants me dead, John.
She cannot think it.
John, have you ever shown her somewhat contempt? She cannot pass you in church, but you will blush.
Well, I may blush for my sin.
I think she sees another meaning
And
in
what
that
see you?
blush.
What see you, Elizabeth?
I think you be somewhat ashamed. For I am there and she is so close.
When will you know me, woman? Were I stoned, I would have cracked for my shame this 7th month.
Then go and tell her she's a whore. Whatever promise she may sense, break it. John, break it.
Good then, I'll go.
Oh, and how unwilling.
I will curse her harder than the oldest cider in hell, but pray begrudge me not my anger.
Your anger? I only ask
Woman, am
you
I
to-
so base? Do you truly think me so base?
I never called you base.
Then how do you charge me with such a promise a stallion gives a mare I gave that girl?
Then why do you anger with me when I bid you to break
Because
it?
it speaks deceit, and I am honest. But I'll plead my honesty no more, Elizabeth. I see now your spirit twist around the single era of my life, and I will never tear it free.
You'll tear it free when you come to know that I will be your only wife, or no wife at all. She has an arrow in you yet, John Proctor, and you know it well.
Good evening.
Why? Good evening, Mr. Hale. Come in, come in.
I hope I did not startle you.
No. It's only I heard no horse.
You are Goodwife Proctor.
I, Elizabeth.
Well, I hope you're not up to bed yet, sir.
No. We're just not used to visitors after dark, but you're welcome. Sit you down, sir.
I will. Sit you down, Goodwife Proctor.
Cider, Mr. Hale?
No, it rebels my stomach, and I have some further traveling to do tonight. Sit you down, sir. I will not keep you long, but I have some business to discuss with you.
Business of the court.
No, I come without the court's authority. And I know not if you're aware, but your wife's name is mentioned somewhat.
We know it, sir. Our Mary Warren told us we are entirely amazed.
A stranger here, as you may know, and I can't draw a clear conscience about those who come accused. So as of today, I go from house to house. I've just come from Rebecca Nurse's.
Rebecca's charged.
God forbid such a woman be charged, but she is, however, mentioned somewhat.
You will never believe, I hope, that Rebecca trafficked with the devil.
Woman, it is possible.
Surely you cannot think so.
Man, these are dangerous times. You cannot deny it. The powers of darkness gather in monstrous attacks against this village. There's too much evidence now that you can't deny it. You will agree, will you not?
I have no knowledge of it, but I think it's hard to think so pious of a woman be a devil's witch after 70 years of such good prayer.
The devil is a wily one. That you cannot deny. She is far from accusing, and no, she will not be. However, I've come to question the Christian character of this household.
Why, we have no fear for questions, sir.
Good then. In the book of record that Mr. Paris keeps, I know that you're rarely in church on the Sabbath day.
No, sir, you are mistaken.
26 times in the past 17 months. I must say, that is rare, sir. Why are you so
Sir,
absent?
I never knew I must account to that man for when I am at church or when I am at home. My wife were sick this winter.
So I'm told, why could you not come alone, sir?
Well, I came when I could, and when I could not, I prayed in this house.
Your house is not a church. Your theology must tell you that,
It does, sir, it does. And it also tells me that a minister may pray to God without he have golden candlesticks upon the altar.
What golden candlesticks?
Well, since we built the church, sir, there were pewter candlesticks upon the altar. Francis Nurse made them, you know. And not a sweeter hand has never touched the metal. But Mr. Paris came, and for 20 weeks he preached nothing but golden candlesticks until he had them. And I labor the earth from dawn to day to blink of night. And I tell you true, mister, when I look to heaven, and I see my money glaring at his elbows, it hurt my prayer, sir, it hurt my prayer. And I think sometimes the man thinks of cathedrals and not clapboard meeting houses.
But a Christian on Sabbath day must be in church. Tell me, you have 3 boys.
Aye.
And how come only 2 are baptized?
I like not that Mr. Paris laid his hand upon my baby. I see no light of God in that man, and I'll not conceal it.
The man is ordained therefore the God of...
What's your suspicion, Mr. Hale?
No, I have
I
no...
nailed the roof upon the church. I hung the door.
You did? Well, that's a good sign.
It may have been that I've been too quick to bring the man to books. But you cannot think that we ever desired the destruction of religion in this house. And I think that's on your mind, is it not?
There's a softness in your record, sir, a softness.
I think perhaps we have been too hard with Mr. Paris. But surely we have never loved the devil here.
Tell me, Elizabeth, you know your commandments, do you not?
I surely do. There be no mark of blame upon my life, Mr. Hale. I am a covenant Christian woman.
And you, sir?
Well, I'm sure I do.
Let you repeat them if you will, then.
The commandments.
Aye.
Thou shalt not kill.
Aye.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods, nor make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Thou shalt honor thy father and mother. Thou shalt bear no false witness, and thou shalt make unto thee any graven image.
You said that twice already, sir.
Aye, sir.
Adultery, John.
Aye. You see, sir, between the both of us, we do know them. I think it must be a small fault.
Theology, sir, is a fortress. No crack in the fortress may be considered small.
There be no love for Satan in this house, mister.
I pray it. I pray it dearly. Well, then, I shall wish you two good night.
Mr. Hale, I do believe you are suspecting me somewhat. Are you not?
Goody Proctor, I cannot judge you, but my duty is to add what I may to the godly wisdom of the court. So, I pray you good health and good fortune. Good night.
I think you must tell him, John.
What?
Will you tell him?
Well, I have no knowledge of it. I cannot prove it except my word be taken. But I know the children's sickness had not to do with witchcraft.
Not to do with witchcraft.
Mr. Parrish discovered them in the woods. They took startle and took sick.
Who told you this?
Abigail Williams.
Abigail Williams told you not to do with witchcraft.
Aye. She told me the day you came, sir.
Why did you not tell me this?
Well, I never knew until tonight that this world has gone so daft with this nonsense.
Nonsense! I myself have examined Tishaba, Sarah Good, and the countless others who have confessed with dealing with the devil. They have confessed it.
And why not? If they must die for confessing it, there are them that will hang to anything before they'll confess. Have you ever thought of that?
I have. And you would testify this in open court.
Well, I had not reckoned to go to court, but if I must, I will.
Do you falter here?
I falter nothing, but I may wonder if my story be credited in such a court, when such a steady-minded minister as you suspicion such a woman that has never lied, that cannot, and the world knows she cannot. Yes, I may falter somewhat, mister, but I am no fool.
Proctor, let you be open with me. For I have a rumor that troubles me deeply. A rumor that says you do not believe there even may be witches in this world.
I know not what I have said, I may have said it. But I do wonder if there'll be witches in the world.
So you believe there'll be witches
I
in
have
this
no
world?
knowledge of it. The Bible speaks of them, and I'll not deny it.
And you, woman?
I cannot.
You cannot!
Elizabeth, you bewilder him?
I cannot believe that the devil may own a woman's soul, Mr. Hale, when she keeps an upright way in the world as I have. I am a good woman, I know it, but if you believe that I may only be secretly bound to Satan, but only do good work in the world, I must tell you, sir, I do not believe it.
So then you do believe there be witches in this world?
If you think that I am one, then I say there are none.
You dare fly against the gospel, the gospel!
She believed in the gospel, sir, every word.
Question Abigail Williams about the gospel, not myself.
She do not mean to doubt the gospel, sir. You cannot think so. This is a Christian house, sir. A Christian house.
Let the third child be quickly baptized, and go you without fail to church every Sabbath day, and keep a solemn, quiet way among you. For I think that...
John, child, what's the matter?
They take my wife. And here's Rebecca.
Rebecca's in jail?
Aye, Cheever come and take her in his wagon. We've only now just come from the jail and they've not even let us in to see them.
The town's surely gone wild now, Mr. Hale.
Reverend Hale, is there nothing you can do? I'm sure the deputy governor mistakes these people.
Pray be calm a moment, Mr. Nurse.
My wife is the very brick Martha Corey, there cannot be a woman yet closer to God than Martha.
What charge were made on your wife, Mr. Nurse?
For murder. For the marvelous and supernatural murder of Goody Putnam's babies. What am I to do, Mr. Hale?
Believe me, Mr. Nurse. If Rebecca be tainted, there's nothing to stop the whole Greenwold from burning. Trust in the justice of the court. The court will send her home.
You cannot mean she'll be tried in court.
Mr. Nurse, though our hearts break, we cannot deny that there's a misty plot afoot in Salem. We cannot flinch it no more. It'll be criminal for us to cling to ancient respects and old friendships. But may this be that we must go wherever the accusing finger points.
How may such a woman murder children?
Man, remember before an hour Lucifer fell, God thought him the most beautiful in heaven.
I never said my wife were a waitress, Dale. I only said she was reading books.
What claim were made against your wife, Mr. Corey?
That bully motor walk-on charge, you see, he bought a pig in my wife 4 to 5 years ago, and the pig suddenly died. So he comes dancing for his money back. My Martha tells him, walk-on, we have the wits to feed a pig. You won't live to own many. So he goes to the court. He claims from that thing on he can't own a pig for more than 4 to 5 weeks because my Martha bewitched him with her books.
Good evening to you, Proctor.
Why, Mr. Cheever, good evening.
Good evening, all. Good evening, Mr. Hale.
I hope you do not come on business of the court.
I do, Proctor. I'm clerk of the court now, you know.
It's such a pity. That honest hair couldn't go ahead and must burn in hell. You'll burn for this. Do you know it?
You know yourself I must do as I'm told. You surely know that, Giles. And I'd as lief you not be sending me to hell. I like not the sound of it, I tell you. I like not the sound of it. Now, Mr. Proctor, believe me how heavy the law be. All its tonnage I do carry on my back tonight. I have a warrant for your wife.
You said she was not charged.
I know not of this. When was she charged?
I'm given 16 warrants tonight. She is one.
Well, who charged her?
Why, Abigail Williams charged her.
What proof? What proof?
Mr. Proctor, I have little time. The court bid me search your house, but I like not to search a house. Would you please hand me any poppets your wife may keep here?
Poppets?
I kept no puppets not since I were a girl.
I spy poppet, Goody Proctor.
Why, this is Mary's.
Would you hand it to me, please?
Has the court now discovered a text in puppets now?
Do you keep any others in the house?
No, nor this one either till tonight. And what signifies a poppet?
A poppet may signify that she, well, woman, would you please come
No,
with me?
she will not. Fetch Mary here.
No, I'm forbidden to leave her from
No,
the
you will live out of sight and out of mind. Fetch Mary here, Elizabeth.
What in God's name signifies a poppet, Mr. Cheever?
A poppet may signify that she, well, that she, why this?
What?
This!
What? What's there?
You see, sir, Herrick, it is a needle.
And what signifies a needle?
Why, this go hard with her, Proctor. I had my doubts, Proctor, I had my doubts. But here is calamity. You see, sir, it is a needle.
Why, what meaning has it?
The girl, the Williams girl, Abigail Williams, sir. She sat to dinner at Reverend Harris's house tonight. Without word nor warning, she fell to the floor like a struck beast. And she screamed a scream that a bull would weep to hear. And he goes to save her, and stuck 2 inches in the flesh of her belly, he draw a needle out. And demanded of how she come to be so stabbed, he testified when your wife's familiar spirit pushed it in.
Why, she's done it to herself. I hope you're not taking this for proof, mister.
'Tis hard proof. I find here a poppet the Goody Proctor keeps, and in the belly of a poppet a needle is stuck. I tell you true, Proctor, I have never worn such
here,
a
Mary.
help, for I...
How did this puppet come into my house?
Why, what puppet's that,
This
sir?
puppet, this
Why,
puppet.
it is mine, sir.
It is your puppet, is it not?
It is, sir, it is.
And how did it come into this house?
Why, I made it in court and gave it to Goody Proctor tonight.
Now you have it, sir.
Mary Warren, a needle were found inside of this poppet.
Why, I meant no harm by it, sir.
Why, you stuck that needle in yourself?
I believe I did, sir.
What say you now?
Mary Warren, you do believe this be your natural memory? May it be that someone conjures you now to say this?
Conjures me? Why, no, sir. I'm entirely myself, I think. Let you ask Susanna Lockett. She saw me sewing it. Oh, better still, ask Abby. Abby sat right beside me when I made it.
Bid him be gone, Mr. Hill. Your mind is surely settled now. Bid him out, Mr. Hill.
What signifies a needle?
A needle were found inside Abigail Williams tonight.
And she charges me?
Aye.
The girl is murder. She must be ripped out of the world.
Ripped out of the world? Herrick, you heard it? Ripped out of the world?
Out of my house.
You dare not touch the...
I said out of
heard
my
the
house.
deputy governor's
Damn
warrant.
the deputy governor. Out of my house.
Proctor,
No,
Proctor!
out of my house. You are a broken minister.
Proctor, if she is innocent.
If she's innocent, Do you ever wonder if Mr. Parrish be innocent? Or Abigail? Is the accuser always holy now? Were they born as clean as God's fingers? No, I'll tell you what's walking in Salem. Vengeance is walking in Salem. And now these crazy little children are jangling the keys of the kingdom. In common vengeance writes the law, and I'll not give my wife to vengeance.
Oh, go, John.
No, you will not go.
I have 9 men outside. You cannot keep her. The law binds me, John. I cannot budge.
Will you see her taken?
Proctor, the court is...
Pontius Pilate, God will not let you wash your hands of this.
John, I think I must go. Mary? There be bread enough in the morning, bake in the afternoon. Treat Mr. Proctor as if you were your own father. You owe me that and much more. When the children wake, speak nothing of witchcraft. It will only frighten them.
I will bring you home. I will bring you home soon.
John, bring me soon.
I will fall like a goat on that ocean. Fear nothing, Elizabeth.
Tell the children I've gone to visit someone sick.
Herrick, don't chain her. Damn you, man, off with that chain.
And yet, silent minister, it is a fraud. You know it's a fraud. What keeps you, man?
I'll pay you, Herrick. I will surely pay you.
In God's name, John, I cannot help myself. I must chain them all. I'll let you keep inside this house, so I am gone.
Proctor.
Out of my sight.
Charity. Proctor, charity. What I've heard in your wife's favor, I will not hesitate to testify in court. Let you remember this, the world goes wild, and you lay a prophet to the vengeance of a little girl.
You are a coward. Though you be ordained in God's own tears, you are a coward now.
Proctor, I cannot think God be so grandly provoked by such a petty cause. The judges now sit in Salem, our courts are packed, and hangings promised. Let you think on cause proportionate. Were there some murder done and never brought to life? An abomination? Some secret blasphemy that stinks to heaven? Let you counsel among yourselves, for there be your way. Believe me, there be your only way. The world goes wild, and it's all due to the vengeance of a little girl. And let you counsel among yourselves, and help me to discover what you have done to bring such a thundering wrath of God upon your village. And I pray that you do it quick.
I never heard no murder done in
Leave
Salem.
me, Francis. Leave me.
John, tell me, are we lost?
Go home now, Giles. We will speak on it tomorrow.
What'd you think on it?
I-
Come early. Huh?
Go home. No.
Good night, then.
Mr. Proctor, very likely they'll let her come home once they're given proper evidence.
You, Mary Warren, are coming with me to the court.
I cannot charge murder on
You
Abigail.
will tell the court what you know now that Mary got stuck in this house.
I cannot. She'll charge lechery on you.
She's told you.
I've known her, so she'll ruin you with it.
Good then. Her shameless is done with, and we will slide together into our pit. But you will tell the court what you know, Mary
I
Warren.
cannot. They'll ruin me.
My wife will not die for me. I will spill your guts into your mouth, but that goodness will not die for me.
I cannot. I
No,
cannot.
make your peace. Now heaven and hell grapple on our backs, and all of our old pretenses ripped away. Make your peace. Now heaven and hell. Yes, peace. It is a providence, and no great change. But we are what we always were in Salem. Aye, but naked now. And the wind, and God's icy wind will blow.